Hi, I'm Josh Tofani, the Field Training Manager at Deep Well Services. I'd like to take a moment to talk about the slip interlock we have installed on our HCUs. The interlock is a system built into the hydraulic plumbing of the slips to prevent unintentional slip operation. We use this system to help prevent chance of dropped or launched tubing. When in heavy mode, you're unable to open both sets of heavies at the same time. And when in light mode, you're unable to open both sets of snubbers at the same time.
The main components of the system include the light and heavy slip override switches inside a lockable box on the operator panel, a separate logic block for the light and heavy that acts as the brain of the systems, and the hydraulic hoses tying the slip handles to the logic blocks and then back to the slip cylinders. We have two different brands of logic blocks in the fleet at this time. One is an NFAB and one is a CRW. The only difference between the two is the CRW block will allow you to adjust the sequence valve pressure for slip operation, and the NFAB valve is preset. You will be able to tell which one your unit is equipped with by looking for the adjustable valve on the bottom of the logic block. We will cover the process for setting the sequence valve operating pressure for the heavy slips, but the following slips are applied to both the heavy and snubbing CRW logic blocks. Shut both sets of slips, the traveling heavies and the stationary heavies. Set the slip pressure to 350 psi. Locate the stationary heavy sequence valve sundial on the logic block for the heavy slips. Unlock the jam nut on the valve. Dial the sequence valve on the side of the logic block all the way in. Open the stationary heavy slips while leaving the traveling heavy slips closed. Dial out the sequence valve until the stationary heavy slips open. Then give the sundial valve another quarter turn out. Lock in the jam nut for the valve's adjustment. Repeat this process for the traveling heavies in both sets of snubbing slips. When we first rig up on a job, it's important to test the slip interlock to ensure proper operation. This is done before any tubing is put in the slips or stack. To test in heavy mode, close the stationary heavy slips, open the traveling heavy slips, and engage the heavy slip override switch to off. This engages the heavy mode interlock. Try to open the stationary heavy slips. If they do not open, the interlock is functioning properly. Then you can shut the traveling heavy slips, open the stationary heavy slips. Try to open the traveling heavy slips. If they do not open, the interlock is functioning properly. To test the interlock in pipe light mode, the process is the same as in heavy mode, but we test the function of the snubbing slips. So you want to close your stationary snubber slips, open the traveling snubber slips, engage light mode override switch to off. This engages the pipe light mode interlock. Try opening the stationary snubbing slips. If they do not open, the interlock is functioning properly. Then shut the traveling snubbing slips and open the stationary snubbing slips. Try to open the traveling snubbing slips. If they do not open, the interlock is functioning properly. Anytime either of the modes are found to be malfunctioning and cannot be rectified, the superintendent must be notified. It is against policy to move tubing at any time with a jack with the slip interlock not engaged and without proper authorization. Disengaging the interlock is only acceptable when the master valve is shut and the BHA is being inserted or removed from the stack. All other operations where the slip interlock is not engaged must be approved by the superintendent before commencing operations. Once the BHA is lowered into the stack and secured with the slips, the interlock must be engaged and the interlock bypass switch box locked. The supervisor is responsible for keeping the key and ensuring the interlock box stays locked. When transitioning from pipe light to pipe heavy is reached, the supervisor needs to unlock the box and swap the bypass valves from heavy bypass off and light bypass on. This will allow you to open both sets of snubbing slips, but only one set of heavy slips at a time. This process is reversed when going from heavy mode to light mode while pulling out of the hole. There is never a need to position both bypasses to the off position at the same time.
Another point to remember is that these interlock systems work off the signal of hydraulic pressure to the slip cylinders. So if you have mechanical failure like sheared slips, broken cylinder pins, broken dog ears, broken cam arms, etc., you'll still be able to open the opposing set of slips once you read hydraulic pressure on the cylinder with the broken set. This means it's extremely important to slide your slips when you're pipe heavy to confirm your bite and to properly 3-slip when you're pipe light. This needs to be done every single stroke. Both of these actions will help you catch if there's an issue with the opposing set of slips and help you prevent a pipe launching or dropping incident. Proper operation of implemented safety systems is crucial to keeping our crews safe. We need your help in testing to ensure that these systems are operating properly. It doesn't matter if you're a lead hand or an operator, if there's an issue with the slip interlock, report it to your supervisor immediately. I appreciate you joining me today, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to training@deepwellservices.com. Thank you and stay safe.